Hi everybody, it's Miss Diana from the Wyndham Public Library. We're doing an off-site presentation today. I'm actually at my home and we're going to do two parts. We're going to do a few things inside and then we're going to go outside. Today's program is called Finding Feathered Friends, meaning our bird friends. Spring is such a great time of year to enjoy your birds outside. If you don't, I can have a few ideas of things that hopefully you can try at home. And let's get started. Our first one is, if you haven't seen my Rolling Out the Tubes program, we're going to make some binoculars today. So you can look at your birds. And if you have already seen it, then you can fast forward to the next step that we're going to do that we haven't done just yet. So we're going to need 2 toilet paper tubes, scissors, hole punch, some string or yarn, any kind of tape. I have some really cool camouflage duct tape, masking tape where it's fine, some washi tape if you have some extra special fun tape to work with. Any tape will do. Yeah, so here we go, and I'll show you. All right, so I'm gonna go with the really cool duct tape here, camouflage, because gee, you don't want the birds to see your binoculars now, do you? So it's pretty easy. Some of these steps you might need your mom or dad to help you with, because I might need my mom or dad to help me. This is kind of hard to pull it off here. All right, so you pull it off. What I'm basically doing is I'm decorating the tube. It's not absolutely necessary. If you want to go with the rustic look, you can just stick with the plain old tube itself. I'm guessing some of you have some leftover tubes in the house somewhere. I'm all about recycling. We're just going to wrap this around. This step is absolutely, like I said, it's not absolutely necessary, but it's just kind of fun to make it look cool. Now, you can use crayons or markers or construction paper or whatever it is that you want to decorate them with, any way you want. And I'm going to do both of them the same way, just on one end. Wrap it around, and then we're going to cut it. All right, now this next step, you're probably going to need an extra set of hands. It might be a little tricky because you're going to do the two at the same time. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to put them together. And lay it down, line it up with the other. And wrap this around. And then wrap this around. And again, if you had an extra set of hands, you might need a little help with this step. That's okay. Fortunately, duct tape is a little forgiving, so if you don't like where you put it, you can peel it off and try it again. That's fine. Well, that's pretty good. So now, this is definitely something you need somebody with strong hands to do this next step. You're going to take your handy-dandy hole punch, or something else that can poke a hole in, on the outside edge of each of the tubes. You're going to poke a hole, one there, one on the opposite side, and then you're going to get your string or your yarn, or ribbon is fine, anything goes, whatever you have in the house. You're going to thread it through the hole, tie it once, tie it again. If you want it extra secure, go for 3 times, and then you take it and put it around your neck to measure to see how far down you want it to hang. But make sure it comes down enough so that you can still pull it on and off throughout your day. Trim it to the size you want. I'm going to guess about there. Stick it through the other hole. Tie it off. And you're good to go. So when it comes time for you to go outside and look for your birds, you make sure you put this around your neck so you can watch the birds. See that? All right. Moving on to the next thing. All right. Now we're gonna feed the birds. So here we have, again, we need scissors, some kind of string, pipe cleaner if you have it, wire would do fine, and you know what, if you don't have either of those, string is fine too. There's always some substitute for everything. And some Cheerios if you have them. And we prefer you not to do like Fruit Loops or Apple Jacks or whatever, not the sweet kind, just because that might make the birdies kind of sick. So you're gonna make your own little bird feeder. This is the completed one. And so you start with your pipe cleaner to make a fun shape. I'm gonna stick with the traditional. I'm gonna make another heart. You make whatever shape you want. It can be a circle or a square, or if you're really creative, a star. So I'm just gonna fold this in half to find the point. All right, and then I'm just gonna make the basic heart shape for now. Nothing perfect. We don't ever have to be perfect here. Fold it into kind of your heart shape. Just get the basic shape going, because we can always tweak it later. All right, so you get the idea of the shape. And now you take the Cheerios. This is such a fun step. And you gotta put them on and on. And I'm not gonna do the whole thing because I don't like boring anybody. I don't want you to be bored. But you get the idea. This is the fun step. And then you can do the old one for me, one for the bird. One for me, one for the bird. So anyway, you get the idea. You're gonna go on and on and on. When you get to having all the Cheerios at the top, save a little room at the bottom or where, for the ends meet, wherever they meet. And then you're just gonna twist it together so that they stay on. And then you're gonna attach your string to it. And you're gonna hang it from a tree or whatever. All right, so this long, get the idea. I'll just do a quick. You're just gonna do a lot of tying here when you do stuff with me for some reason. So if you don't know how to tie, if you didn't know how to tie before, you're gonna learn how to tie before this is all over, let me tell you. All right, probably gonna need a little help with that too. And then you cut whatever length you think you need it to be hung, depends on where you hang it from, your deck, your tree, your house. We're gonna bring this outside when we go. I'm gonna bring the finished one outside. Okay. Now we're gonna move on to the last indoor activity is bird nest supplies. Move these out of the way. You're gonna need a ruler and those scissors again. String, yarn, twine, any of the above. Ribbon if you have it. Piece of fabric. If you have a pet, a dog or a cat, or if you're lucky enough to have a sheep or something, that would be great. Cotton balls, I'll show you what we're going to do with that, and possibly a mesh bag where you can get like onions or potatoes in those. You don't have to have that, but I'll explain to you why. All right, so birds this time of year are busy making their nests so they can put the eggs in them. Now some birds like the nest to have soft stuff inside to keep the eggs warm and safe and soft. So this is where your pet fur comes in, and this is actually some wool. And so what you can do is just pull it small pieces, kind of help them out a little bit. And it's really fun. Believe it or not, this morning I saw a chickadee pulling some of this wool out of my tree that I had put it in there, and he's getting his nest ready. It's really neat to watch. So believe it or not, even hair, if you happen to have somebody cut your hair and it's getting too long, you can put some hair outside. You might be surprised. They may take it away. And this is what the bag is for, is you can either stick it on a tree or a bush or even just on the ground. They'll see it and they'll find it, or you could put it in one of these bags, and they're clever enough to figure out how to pull that out, believe it or not. All right, now the reason I have the ruler here is they are also interested in different pieces of yarn or string, and I want to say just have it no more than about 2 inches long, because if it's too long they might get twisted in it and you don't want that. So I'm just got a piece of yarn, a little piece of twine, no more than 2 inches long. You don't have to measure it, but you can just eyeball it. I have some little red ribbon here. You can cut that. Even a thin piece of fabric, if you want to cut a little bit of that. Now this comes from one of the cushions that we had during story time. So I'm just going to cut a real thin piece of fabric here and just kind of keep it at 2 inches. Now when you go outside, you're just going to put these around your yard where you think the birds are going to find them the most. And every day go out and see if it's still there. It's really cool. Now even cotton, I don't know if you know that cotton balls actually unroll. You find the end of it and you can pull it out. I think they like the softness of that. And again, we're kind of going to a smaller piece, so we're just gonna have fun with our hands. Pull a little bit of a part there, and we're gonna take that outside. Alrighty. So, when we go outside, we're gonna take a little bird seed with us and try a little something. All right, see you outside. Bye. Hi again. Now we're outside in my backyard with the hopes of seeing some birds or hearing some birds. So just for starters, there's no craft involved with this first thing to do, but when you go outside, or you can actually probably hear it inside if your windows are open, just close your eyes, take a deep breath. You know I say that a lot. And open your ears. Just listen for some birds. See if you can hear any birds. There's 2 times of the day that's best to do it. Early in the morning and in the evening. It's evening right now, so I'm kind of hoping that somebody may show up. I don't hear anybody right now, but when you do this, oh, I do hear somebody over there. Anyway, it's really kind of fun. Try to see how many different ones that you can hear. You'd be surprised how many there are. They're very, very busy singing this time of year. It's so much glorious sounds from your ears. All right. So we have brought outside all of our little nest building materials. So I'm just going to put them hither and thither. Yeah, it just doesn't really matter because I think they have really good eyes. And we have different colors here too. We're just going to put them here, there, and everywhere. And tomorrow I'm going to check to see if they're still there. And I mean, I'm just sitting them right here just to keep things simple. But you hang them from trees, from bushes, put them on your deck, in flower pots, whatever you want to do. The cotton and the wool and your pet fur, your pets will be so happy to know that it's going to good use after you've brushed them. All right. So hopefully the wind won't take them away before the birdies do. All right, and as you can see, I have a little bird feeder here. The squirrels like it too, but it is a bird feeder. And we have our handy dandy Cheerio feeder as well. So the last thing I want to talk about is trying to attract them. There's a couple ways to do it. Well, we have the nest building materials for one thing, but the other is this is so cool. If you have a cork at home, or even if you have craft foam, I don't have any right now, but I'd like to try that next time, craft foam, but take your cork and a glass, hopefully that's okay with Mom and Dad, maybe it's got to be glass, actually. Try different ones. Use your little science experiments and see what works the best. You're going to take the cork and you're going to wet it a little bit. And you're going to try to make the sound of a bird by rubbing it. Can you hear that? Okay. Now oh, I got the dogs barking. If a bird hears that sound, couple things could happen. First of all, they might be scared and think that there's a bird that's in distress, so they might fly away. But some of the birds are going to be curious and they're going to want to come closer to see what's going on. So this may attract some birds. So just keep squeaking. If it stops squeaking, it might mean that your cork's getting a little dry, so you just re-wet it. I don't see anybody just yet, but don't you give up. This will give you something to do for a while. Alright, and the last thing I wanted to show you, this is, I think, the coolest thing of all. Try to attract the birdies with the sound to the best of your ability. If you can do it with your mouth, that's great, go for it. If you happen to have some lovely bird seed at home, put some in your hands. Now you have to have a lot of patience for this. You put it in your hands. The chickadees are very curious birds. They're not that shy. They're actually very friendly. They don't need to have social distancing. It's okay. And you wait. And if they're around, don't wait like all day. But if you see that they're about in your yard, put some birdseed in your hand and you wait and you wait. And I've done this before, and by golly, they actually will come. They come to your hand, and they're a little skittish at first. You just have to be patient. I would love it if they would happen today, but I don't think it's going to happen right now. I hear them, but I don't see them just yet. But anyway, you get the idea. Be patient. And if I recall, when that happened to me one time, they land on you, and when they go to take off, they push your hand down. It's so neat. It's really, really neat. I hope that happens for you. And that is the end of our finding our feathered friends. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a lot of luck. And when you come to the library, please tell me what you did and what worked and what didn't. And can't wait to see you. Thanks. Bye.